am so glad to see you. We're going to do some detective work today. Are you ready for that? Help me to solve a mystery of some sorts? Thank you. What we're going to do is some really careful looking and some careful listening for some sounds in some words. Some of these words that we're going to talk about today will be connected to the work we've been talking about. We've been learning about communities and citizenship. So I'm going to read some words to you to make sure that you know what they say, and you're going to repeat them after me. Are you ready for that? Okay, let's go. The first word is rented. We rented an apartment to live in. It was in the community where we wanted to live. Can you read rented? Great. The next word is added. They added some yummy meals onto the lunch menu. Added. Can you say added? And we've learned about, we have school helpers, right? That are in our school community that help work in the lunchroom. Planted. Can you say planted? We planted some trees in a park in the town. Planted. Started. Can you say started? We started learning about communities and citizenship together. Followed. Say followed. Great. We followed the rules so everyone would be safe. Followed. Enforced. Can you say enforced? Great. The police officers or law enforcement officers enforced the laws when people broke them. Enforced. Treated. Can you say treated? We treated everyone kindly in the classroom. Treated. That's an important part of being a part of a community, right? Is how we treat people. Worked. Can you say worked? Excellent. We worked really hard together to build a nice community garden. Worked. Supplied. Can you say supplied? Great. The farmers supplied their crops so we'd have good food to eat. Supplied. Helped. Can you say helped? Great. My children helped me make dinner. Helped. Last word for today, voted. Can you say voted? Excellent. We voted for people in the community that we thought would make it stronger. Voted. Excellent job reading these. And now we're going to take a special look at the words together to see if we can discover something about them. Okay, learners, we've read these words and now we are going to do some detective work. So help me look at these words and see if you notice something. As we look across the words, there's something that's similar or the same in all of the words up here. Can you find something that's the same in them? Did you figure it out? Yes, each of these words has the letters E and D at the end. Did you notice that? Well, great job. Give yourself a pat on the back. You just solved the first mystery of something that we need to do together today. And now we're going to find out what this means when we see ED at the end of words. You just found that clue that all of these words have ED at the end of them. What we can know is that when we see the letters ED at the end of words, it gives us a clue that the word is probably going to be telling us about something that happened in the past. In the past. Something that happened in the past and is a past tense verb or action word. Tells us it happened yesterday or last week or last month or last year. Let's do an example of this. I might say, I can hop. Hop is the verb. Can you hop with me? Let's hop. Excellent. We all just did a hop. But now I wanted to say, we've already done it. We all just hopped. So we hopped. This happened in the past. When we look at hopped, we can notice that it ends in ed. But I want to remind you of something that we just learned when we did our inflected ending of ing. If it's a word that has one syllable like hop, one vowel, O, and ends in one consonant, we double that final consonant before adding ed. Remember, that was our 1-1-1 rule that we talked about with ing. One syllable, one vowel, one consonant, double that final consonant before adding the ending. So hopped happened in the past. Ed is a clue to tell us that this verb is happening in the past. Okay, detectives, now you have another job, another mystery to solve for me. I'm going to read down this column of words, and I want you to read the words with me, but I want you to pay attention to the sound that you hear at the end of each word. Let's read them together and be listening really closely for the ending sound that you hear. Here we go. Added, started, planted, treated, voted, rented. What did you hear at the end of all those words? Yeah, did it sound like an id to you? Let's try one. Let's look at this word, planted. We planted a community garden. Do you hear how it says id at the end? Well, that's funny. How about voted? We voted for new officers, voted. At the end of all these ed words, it actually sounds like id, id. Interesting. Even though it's an ed, it sounds like id. Let's check the second column and read these together. Here we go. Supplied, followed. Let's say supplied, followed. What do you hear at the end of those words? Yeah, I hear a d. Interesting. These have ed, but they sound like an id at the end. And these have ed, but it sounds like a d at the end. I'm going to put a letter D at the top. And these slashes are showing it makes the d sound. Okay, let's read this very last column. Worked, helped, and forced. Worked, helped, and forced. What do you hear at the end of those three words? What sound do you hear? Yes, it sounds like a t, doesn't it? Well, isn't that interesting, detectives? We did some looking and some listening. First, we discovered all the words that we had today ended in the inflected ending ed. But now, when we've taken a closer look, we've actually discovered that ed can have three different sounds at the end. Like in added, it sounds like id. Supplied, it sounds like d at the end. And worked, it sounds like t at the end. So think about that. When you're reading or writing, if you know the word is a verb, an action, and that it's happened in the past, it might have a sound that you're not expecting. It might sound like id, d, or t. That will help you with your reading and your writing. check those sounds when you're doing your reading and play around with which one sounds right. And same thing when you're doing your writing. If it's something that happens in the past, be thinking, it sounds like a t, but it's in the past. So really, I want to put an ed, especially the word worked, right? That's one you might use a lot. I worked really hard. And you would think, oh, that's a T. But now we know it's really an ed at the end. That's giving us the meaning that it's past tense verb and can make 3 different sounds.
This program is made possible in part by the Michigan Department of Education, the State of Michigan, and the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. Additional support by viewers like you. Thank you.